Hi, I am here with Beyond the Headlines with my bestie colleague, Kevin Woodhouse. He's a reporter and a good friend. We check in with you every single weekend. We wrap up the news so that you can get a little capsule of what's going on and
That's
our
right.
topics. And we go a little round the back and give our opinion on that too. So we enjoy this segment. We hope you do too. We have a lot of giveaways as always.
Yes.
Tell me about our sponsor and what's going on and what we're getting.
Well, we've had Cunningham's Pub in St. Anne de Bellevue as our proud sponsor for the last 3 weeks. So today will be our last week with them. And we give away their sauce sampler because they're so hard to get in stores. So that's kind of a
the
fun
Halle
thing.
Berry sauce. For those of you who don't know, Halle Berry.
That's right. The Halle Berry sauce is in there.
Yeah.
That's right. So we have our last Cunningham's sauce sampler to give away, and we're going to do that at the end of the show. And just before we start, Rhonda, I wanted to, sometimes in your phone when you get like memories pop up, like photos that you've taken. So this morning, my memories of 2 years ago, April 20th, 2019, flood photos of St. Anne's. That's what popped up on my screen.
To think that's what we were thinking about then, Kevin, and it was all encompassing. And no discount to those who suffered through the flood, but I'd give anything to be in a flood. I don't want to be in a flood, but I'd rather be in a flood than a worldwide pandemic. Like it was so daunting, the floods. Now it's like, oh,
yeah, that would be sort of a weekend. Someone would take care of that. Yeah, let's make some sandbags. Let's get things going.
Yeah, I'd really just like to be covering a rib fest or something.
Yeah, no doubt. I would say the biggest change between now and a couple of years ago in terms of flood preparation, some of the stuff that Pierrefonds was taking care of in terms of buying. In lieu of having to use so many bags, they've got those the blow up things that can stop floods. So I think they've been proactive in that way. And I would imagine, as any West Island mayor, not having to deploy anything at all, is to have them and not have to use them is probably great. Then obviously to need them and not have them. So so far from the weather reports, doesn't look like we're going to get any flooding this year. So that's kind of good news. So
it's good news, but we've got the best of the best with Jim Bass, the mayor of Pierrefonds. He's the best of the best for floods. He definitely knows his game. He's
absolutely
learned death by fire. So he is.
Yeah, talk about unwanted expertise. I'm sure if we asked Jim, did you ever think you'd be an expert in floods? He probably would say no. So
I go no.
So let's get to the first story, which I think is kind of interesting because you posted it, Rhonda. You got yourself stuck. And so where, how, when, how did it go? How's your arm? Some people say their arm gets a little sore the day after. When did you get your vaccine and how did it go?
I got my vaccine about 10 days ago. And I got it at a pharmacy in Baie-D'Urfé, and it was fantastic. It was organized. It was, I'm 55, so those of you who are going to quickly comment. If you comment, by the way, you get to win. So you may as well comment.
That's right. Say something. Yeah.
Say something. If you comment, that's how you can win. We forgot to mention that at the beginning. So yeah, I got the vaccine. I got Moderna. I'm allergic to a regular flu. I haven't had a flu shot in 20 years because I had an allergy attack and a reaction to. I get full hive, anaphylactic, like in and out of consciousness and all this. So they were very careful with me, and I got the Moderna, and I'm 55, and I do take care of seniors. So I checked off all the boxes. And I want to tell you, some people that I know, I'm not going to mention names, and because it's just too much, but you can go. I know somebody very close to me that went to the Jean Talon Market area, to the one that was over there, the clinic, the vaccine clinic, and you can go to the end of the day and get a vaccine, or you can ask, you can call. These are things that we should be doing. But as of today, we have 45 and up can take AstraZeneca. So that's kind of exciting as well.
That is good. And you're right about these sort of end of day doses, because I've been getting DMs from people and emails from friends of friends who've called them to say, hey, I'm working at this particular place. No one's around. If you come by now, you'd be okay. So we're kind of doing that off the record, if you will, but I think it's something that the government should probably consider thinking officially. Like, okay.
I reached out. Sorry to interrupt, Kev. It's hard on Zoom because we do over talk. We apologize. We both have a tendency to be very excited.
Correct.
So it's hard because there's a little lag, so you don't know if the other one's talking. Anyway, long story short, I forgot.
Yeah, we're talking about friends of friends calling up to say about, end of day sort of getting the vaccines.
I approached the CS. I'm waiting for an answer, and I asked them to let me announce the locations that have extra. Like, just shoot me. It's nothing for me to just throw that up 2 seconds. And if people are watching for it, we can make sure that no vaccines go to waste. I'm
That's right.
very willing to do that on the house. I am at their service. I would love to just let people know. Okay, there's 20 vaccines at Rob Bernie. You might get 50 people, but that's life. Like, sooner
Well,
or
that's it. And
later.
also too, like, we know that these protocols are happening unofficially. Maybe it's time to make them official.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people want to get vaccinated, and as you said, with today being now 45 up, you can register to get an appointment. So I think that's some pretty good news. Yeah.
I think,
So
yeah, a lot of
anyway,
fun.
kudos to you for getting your shot. I think that's great, and I think it was great too that you publicized it. And I think I think people should keep the vaccine selfies coming. I don't think it's not quite when people would take vacation shots in February and they would take shots of us, take shots of themselves, I would get a little angry, it's like, hey, I'm freezing. But
Yeah,
this is something I think we should share because, especially with your story, like you said, in and out, no worries, no ill effects. So that's great. And talk about the peace of mind, right? Because you take care of your elderly folks. So that must be great for you. So
it's a
that's
real,
good news.
it's a real thing. And I mentioned this in one of the lives that I did on Sunday last, that Israel has managed to inoculate their entire population. They
Yeah,
have done so at a premium cost, which, whatever, pay what you got to pay. They paid
right.
for their vaccines. They are fully vaccinated. They are no masks outside. They are getting things back to normal. And if they are the model, we can just copy the term paper of the person next to us in this case.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
we can only hope, eh? So
Yeah.
let's hope, more vaccines and more people can get vaccinated and we reach that herd immunity.
All right, Kev, we have another interesting story coming up about the
Yeah.
parking in Kirkland. I need you to talk about that for me.
Well, this is interesting. This is an initiative from the Kirkland Citizens Association. And before we recorded this, I had a chance to get in touch with Karen Cliff, who, as we know, well-known West Islander. She's always out and about doing a lot of things, and she's the current president. And they're having an online rally on Saturday, May 1st. You can go check it out on Facebook on the Kirkland Voice, and what they're on the Kirkland Voice Facebook page. And the issue is this. Originally, when the REM project was slated, and there's going to be a station at the RioCan Center in Kirkland, 2,000 parking spaces.
Right.
Then it went down to 500. And now there's no parking spaces slated to reserve for people to take the train. And some of the things that Karen said, she said, nobody can answer what happened and why they were taken away. So, and one of her issues is parking is better for the environment because if people can park and then use the REM, they'll leave their cars at home. But if there's no parking, commuters are just going to take the easiest route, and that's going to be to continue using their cars. So in her term, what she's saying is she feels it's necessary for the public to be heard loud and clear because parking is a necessity. So I thought that's interesting. So that's taking place Saturday, May 1st, Kirkland Voice Facebook page, and that's an online rally. So she wants to hear people's comments and stuff. And I hope they can affect some change because I've been talking to people and people are psyched to use the REM, but not if they have to take a bus to get there. It's one thing to drive your car, park it in the spot, take the train, head downtown, knowing when you get back, you're one stop away from getting home. And the lack of parking has been, and I think it needs to be demystified because originally, again, there was going to be no parking at Point Claire, and then maybe they're going to build some underground parking, and then they're going to do this. So I think the REM needs to come out and let people know if there's going to be parking and why there's not going to be parking.
First of all, can you imagine trying to take a bike there? Like you're going to work in your dress clothes and you're going to find out, like, you're going to be on your bike with your kid, with your backpack, with your stuff. You get to work, you smell like a rat.
And good luck doing that in February in this province. Like it's just not going to work. I'm sure they may suggest carpooling in that, but that again is kind of awkward. Sometimes you just want to leave at your own pace and come home at your own pace. And not everyone works 9 to 5 either. We always assume 9 to 5. There's a lot of people who work 7 to 3, or they work 10 to 6 or whatever. So I hope that gets worked out. So
I'm
anyway,
I'm
kudos.
also, Kev, I'm not going to go to a hockey game and take a bite. I'll take my car to the, if you're trying to get the West Islanders to use this thing,
Yeah,
I do want to take it to a hockey game. I do want to take it for dinner. So I will pop on it, but I'm not going to walk there to go for dinner in my heels. I'm not going to do that.
right.
And
Yeah,
I live within walking proximity. I will drive over
right.
in my dressed up clothes, take it
Yeah, yeah.
downtown and go to the restaurant, come back, but I'm not going to I'm not, no,
No. So
I'm not
anyway,
biking or walking
that's
back home.
something that's gonna have to be worked out, because some of the things I'm hearing is, for those of us who live in the West Island, we're kind of car dependent. And it's one thing to live in the city central where you can walk to a metro, walk to a train station, walk to all your necessities. Here, you generally have to drive to get where you have to go. So I hope they square that circle. So anyway,
I'm sure they will, because I can't see it going anywhere, but it really should be wound up. We're getting close. You can actually see the structure. You can practically see the station.
yeah, that's it. So anyway, we're going to put a pin in this, Rhonda, because I'm sure this is a story that will come back again. So
There is a petition to add to that. I found out that Karen also has a petition.
oh, great. So
You
I
can
would
find
say,
it.
I would suggest folks, yeah, get on the Kirkland Voice Facebook page. You can probably find the petition there as well.
Yeah.
So now we have a story I want to talk to you about, that the West Island News blog, you guys kind of broke this week. And this one's odd. So I wanted to just see if we could clarify it. We were talking about, you guys were talking about a restaurant, Bistro 1843, that from the comments I saw in that story, people love that local restaurant, and they've really been going out of their way during this pandemic to help people out. And they were this close to being scammed. So what, can you elaborate a little bit on what happened?
I can, and it's a sad one, but Sarah reached out to me. I wish I could say that I sussed this out on my own, but she reached out to me, and she is the one that our contact person for Bistro 1843 that's in Il Bazaar. It is an excellent restaurant. Normally you need some serious reservation time. You've got to book this place.
Right.
And pandemic, everybody's suffering. The restaurants are taking a hit, as is most. They got a call for a huge order that somebody was going to be distributing food and meals to a hospital. Can you please make me so many meals, to the tune of thousands of dollars worth of meals?
They wanted to, if I understand correctly, they wanted to provide this, whoever this company was, whoever this was, they wanted to provide meals for 50 healthcare workers.
Yes.
So as you say, that's a sizable, that's a sizable request. You know, that's a big order.
This restaurant, it's thousands.
Yeah.
So she took the order, excited. She takes her order. She's got it all figured out. It's, let's say, the May 2nd is the date of the order. I can't remember what the date was. And the person is speaking with her, consulting the menu, going through the whole rigmarole as though you're planning an event. He's going through the menu, checking what he likes, and he's calling back, and there's enough of an interaction that she's got this thing going on. She goes to get her deposit. Thankfully, she never made an order for food. And that's when she got, when the hairs on her neck stood up. She's like, he wanted a deposit. She wanted a deposit. So he wanted to pay that through his driver, the Uber driver, or the driver of the pickup person. Can you just pay my driver and then I'll take care of it? Anyway, can you please add an extra tip on your invoice so that we can pay the driver, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, long story short, she had the wisdom. I don't know where she got the wisdom from, just to feel it. And she didn't move forward with the order. But this is something that she really wanted to express to other restaurant owners suffering in the area, saying, watch out for this scam, because without the deposit, she wouldn't have realized. Had she gone out, done the food, and waited for the money on the day of, she probably either wouldn't have gotten or something.
She would have had to eat that. She would have to eat that bill, and that's terrible. So I think it's great that Sarah reached out to you, because by doing this, you know, she can help others, which I think is really important. So people can keep and you know, I've said it all my life. Always go with your gut. If it feels wrong, then it is wrong. You know, it's your body trying to tell you this seems fishy. And like you said, the red flag went off, and she did a little bit more research, and she realized this is not on the up and up. So good for her. I'm glad that it worked out, you know. So,
and we got to remember that these scams are still going on. People, there are heartless people out there. My mother must have got 30 phone calls from the same number asking her for her social security number and information from the government. The government does not call you.
No. Do you still by any chance have a landline?
I do not.
Okay. I keep it around just for kind of giggles, and I've gotten to the point now where there's no message on it and no call display. So it's like having a phone in the 80s. Whoever phones, I pick it up. I'm just playing phone roulette. 2/3 of those calls now, because we do everything pretty much on cell phone, is this is a recording from Visa, this is a recording from the government, this is a recording from Virgin Records, this is a recording from any company, the Royal Bank, trying to scam you, and it's just like hang up. And for folks who, like you said, maybe older, more vulnerable people, they'll take it seriously. So yeah, there are a lot of scam artists out there. So
It stresses my mother out quite a bit because her phone
yeah,
never stops ringing and it upsets her. She's, it's a lot. It's a
yeah,
lot.
and
I
and,
wish
and,
we
and
think
older
about
folks right now, they've got other things to worry about, and not some terrible people trying to take their money. So
it. Yeah.
on to something positive. Now, this is beyond the West Island, but this is always fun because you did something really neat and I didn't even know it was open. So this is really cool. You got a chance to go, I think it was with your grandson, and you recently went to the Montreal Biodome. And you were talking, we were talking off camera about how they've really got the COVID protocols down, and in terms of like how to make it a good experience despite the surreal times we're living in. So I've been to the Biodome in about 20 years. So tell me about it. How'd it go?
The biodome for me was one of those snore things we did during school. You got in the bus and you got your lunch and you made and it's, you got there. And anyway, I remember taking my kids and being the volunteer mom and having to wait outside because I don't know why, but I was happy to be outside, just sitting there waiting, the kids are busy.
Mhm.
And I got to tell you, Kev, in the words of my children, the biodome is now next level.
Oh, okay. So they've leveled up, have they? Cool.
They have leveled up to the point
Yeah.
where I have posted my video footage from my experience on the
Oh,
WhatsApp
great.
news. It's also on my YouTube channel. It's incredible. I saw penguins, like the penguins, the different kinds, the puffins.
Yeah.
The it's incredible what I saw. It's like the Echo Museum on steroids.
Nice.
It is incredible what they have there. There's four different, and I tried to keep it all. There's four different
Habitats, right?
pavilions.
You still have the four?
Habitats, yes. And you do
Yeah.
like there's a maple one and there's a polar one. I'm telling you, Ken, I've never been more impressed. The fish, you're up close and personal. You can pack the jellyfish. I did not know we had in Canada. I didn't know we had
No
jellyfish.
way.
The
Okay.
jellyfish are like you're right up close to the point where you can't. I could not believe my experience. I was freaking out.
Cool. And
It's
now how are they doing this now? Because like, places of worship, you're only allowed a certain amount of people. How did it work? Like only a certain amount of folks in at a time, or?
It's very tough. My daughter went out of her way. She got the tickets maybe a couple of months ago. And I got to
Okay.
tell you, Kev, it was like I was Celine Dion.
Oh, nice.
And
Oh,
I went
personal tour.
into the biodome. I swear there was not another family. I think I saw two other families from a distance. I never saw
Okay.
anybody. I never touched. Our bubble was completely contained. We went about our business. When you've got little ones, we've got boys in our gang, and they were running you couldn't run like that because normally there'd be tons of people and you're watching
Sure.
and you're in a space that's basically contained for many parts of this, like the aquarium parts and stuff. Jackson was running from one side to the next, and there was nothing to concern. You stood there. There's no safety issue. It's just a flat looking at an aquarium. He's just running.
Sure.
You
Nice.
go into the rainforest, Kevin, you can
They still have the rainforest room, right?
moisture. The
Yeah.
rainforest is absolutely wild.
I remember having to take my coat off because it was so warm inside it. Like it's a real trip. Like you go in, it's like, wow, this is actually rainforesty. This is equatorial forest. Yeah.
I saw parrots. I saw monkeys, several kinds of monkeys. I can't even remember all that. I saw it. Go see the video. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Nice. So you hear it here.
Alligator.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, some kind of an
So,
alligator.
so we can say you heard it here first, folks. The Biodome, according to Rhonda's kids, has leveled up. So that's really great because I mean they've been around a long time. So good for them. And so that could be a fun. I guess you got to book online, right, to get a
Got a book
spot.
online or call or whatever. I don't know. She took care of it, but it's civilized. Like
But it sounds like it's worth the detour. That's what it sounds like to me. So that's great.
I was surprised.
Well, that's awesome. What we're going to do now is we're getting towards the end of the show. So this is we got to thank Cunningham's Pub once again for sponsoring us for this past month for our We Want to Make Your Day giveaway.
If you want to sponsor us, guys, if anybody wants to sponsor us,
Yeah.
as part of this segment, we are open to other sponsors. We have booth stands coming up for the next month. So if you watch our show, you can always win something. And
That's right.
if you comment, you can win. Go
You're
Kev.
always a winner
What we
here.
got?
That's it.
We got.
So our last winner for the sauce sampler pack for the We Want to Make Your Day giveaway is Celine Khan. So congratulations. And we've already let Jim Beauchamp at Cunningham's know, so you can give them a call at 514-457-0080. They're open every Tuesday through Saturday from 3 to 8, and you can get their world famous sauces on their world famous wings. So there it is.
Wings, they have fish and chips. It's delish, and they deliver, and they are extremely community minded. They are always back. So it's very important to support those that support us. They are always there to give, always.
Exactly.
All right.
So there it is, Rhonda. I think we covered it. I think we got it done. So yeah.
All right, we got it done. Thanks, Kev, so much, and have a great week, everybody. We just visited with you from Beyond the Headlines on the West Island News. Have a great rest of your day.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.